We're going to start the course with aligning on basic terminology and topics to make sure we use the same language to talk about project delivery. This is very important because even project manager responsibilities typically can vary from company to company. That's why in this section we're going to cover the following basic topics. What is a project? What is a project triangle? What is a project manager role and responsibilities? What's the difference of project manager role in outsourced versus product companies? What are the project management tools? And we're going to close out the section with insights. Let's go to the first topic. What is a project? A project is a sequence of tasks that should be completed to get a desired outcome. For example, you can have a project to build a website, to prepare and launch advertising campaign, or to set up an automation for your CRM system. Let's take a look at a project to build a website in details. For example, firstly, we need to define a scope, define a timeline, deliver the whole project. There could be many more steps, and at the very end, we are to get the outcome. So all of these steps that should be completed to get the desired outcome is called as a project. What is a project triangle? Project triangle is a project management model that shows relations between scope, time, budget that leads to quality. Let's take a look at several examples. For example, we have original project with its scope, time, and budget. And then we decided to increase scope. As we can see, increasing scope also increased time and budget. Another example, we decided to decrease time. We can see that this made us to increase budget and this also affected scope. So the main concept of the project triangle is that you cannot change only one variable. Otherwise, the triangle is going to be broken and this is going to affect the quality. If you change scope, this is going to affect time and budget. If you change the budget, this is going to affect scope and time, and so on. We have just aligned about what is a project and project triangle, so we are ready to touch the topic what is a project manager role and responsibility. Project manager is a person who is responsible for delivery of the project scope on time, on budget, and with the proper quality. Let's take a look at main project manager responsibilities. Right now, we will go through all of them just on high level, but we will take a look at each of responsibility in detail during the next sections of the course. Managing scope. Main scope, what is in scope versus out of scope, scope creep. Staffing and managing team, allocation planning, defining required roles, controlling KPIs. Handling risks, identifying and mitigating risks. Managing budget, budget planning, budget utilization. Planning and scheduling, project roadmap, defining dependencies, and more. Managing client expectations, set and shape client expectations. Controlling quality, preparing estimations, and handling paperwork. There is also an interesting case that project manager role and responsibility can vary from company to company. Right now, we have taken a look at main responsibilities, like main typical responsibilities, but let's also take a look about the responsibilities that can be optional. For example, gather requirements. This could be like an optional responsibility. Typically, business analyst is gathering requirements, but in some companies, project manager is covering this area also. Create tickets for tasks. The same. In some companies, business analysts creates tickets for the team, but in some companies, PM should require this work also. Account management. There could be like a separate account manager, but there could be also a case when project manager should play a role of account manager. Then take part in pre-sales or sales activities. Process improvements. Hiring. In some companies, project manager takes part in hiring new staff. Operations management and managing different project types. There could be companies where you will manage just software developers, but there could be companies where you will have to manage also like marketers, designers, support team, etc. Project manager role in outsource versus product company. In outsourced company, you as a project manager is gonna cover the budget management. It's just inevitable part of your work. Timeline is critical for profit in outsourced companies because you need to take a look at the gross margin and make sure you utilize budget within, for example, 2 month project. You deliver the project and company earns within these 2 months also. Quality could sacrifice to budget and timeline. Constant change of team members. Typically in outsource, the type of projects can vary very often, and that's why new contractors can be hired. It means that you will see new face very often. Work with external clients, handle paperwork as each new project is followed by SOW, NDA, master service agreement, change request, etc. It's all paperwork. And participate in pre-sales sales. As outsourced company always means to have a lot of different clients, it means that project manager will be a part of sales process. While in product company, you as a project manager will do less budget management because typically you have allocated a team to your project and you just work with them, taking into account just their productivity and number of utilized hours. You typically do not pay attention about their hourly rate, whatever. Timeline is more flexible. As it's a product, you develop your own product. It means that the product company typically is ready to, for example, postpone a release, not to sacrifice quality to time. Quality is primary. Team members are more constant. As it's a product, typically you have just one in-house team. Yes, new hires can come, someone can leave the company, but it's not as often as in outsourced company. Mix of internal and external clients. Less paperwork and no sales pre-sales activities. Let's take a look at main project management tools. For planning and task management, could be different task systems. For example, let's take a look at Jira. Jira has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that Jira gives maximum functionality and highly customizable, available for integrations with other tools and extra modules. While there is a disadvantage, it's difficult and time-consuming to set up. Teamwork, another ticket system. So the advantage is that there are a lot of functionality out of the box, and disadvantage comparing to Jira, it has much more limits to customization. There are also other planning tools like Asana, Trello, Notion, Azure Boards, and more. Right now, I'm just talking about like the most popular ones and the most used ones. To manage budget and resources, I use Projector, but you can also use like Excel, Google Sheets, and other software. For communication, I typically use Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meets, and Slack. And right now, I know ClickUp is becoming also popular. For data visualization to build some diagrams, you can use Miro, Draw.io, Figma. For calendars, again, package from Google Calendar, and Outlook Calendar from Microsoft. To close out the current section, I would like to share several insights with you that is going to be helpful for you. The first one is the importance of project related certifications like PMP certification, Scrum Master, etc. So if you would decide to go through similar courses, they will actually give you two main values. Number one is that guys who get certificates can find jobs easier because during the last time companies started paying more attention to candidates with certifications. So it means that just recruiters will pay attention to your CV more and more than to candidates who do not have certificates. The second value courses can give you is to learn commonly used terminology, workflows, and approaches to manage the projects. This is also important, for example, to know what is RDC, bar, gross margin, and other figures to manage the budget. And the second insight I would like to share is the importance of technical background in the area you're delivering projects. For example, I've been working in software development, and it's much easier to deliver projects when you have a technical background, when you understand how front-end works under the hood, what is the difference between front-end and back-end, what is CI/CD, what's the difference between shared hosting and cloud hosting, etc. The same for other areas, like if you run projects in marketing, It's much easier and more effective for you to run projects if you understand how digital marketing and the marketing as a whole works. So it's highly recommended to get a kind of expertise in the area you're running the projects. If you also run projects in software development, I have prepared a technical awareness course for IT project managers and business analysts that is already available on platforms, so you can take a look at it also. See you in the next section. Thank you.